Hello, and welcome to the Parenting Compass. I'm Jenny Lee, a psychology and empowerment specialist for youth. Over the years, I've had the privilege of working with families to address one of the most common and most challenging emotions kids experience: frustration. If you're here, chances are you've seen your child struggle with frustration at some point. Maybe it's when their block tower falls, when they can't solve a tricky math problem, or when a sibling takes their favorite toy. Watching your child grapple with these moments can be tough, especially when their frustration turns into tears, anger, or even a full-blown meltdown. But here's the good news. Frustration isn't a bad thing. In fact, it's a natural part of learning and growing. The key is teaching kids how to manage it in healthy and constructive ways. That's what we'll explore in today's video. Understanding frustration in kids. Let's start by understanding what frustration really is. At its core, frustration is an emotional response to obstacles, whether they're real or perceived. For kids, these obstacles might be as simple as not being able to tie their shoes, or as complex as navigating a social conflict with a friend. Why is frustration so intense for kids? Children's brains are still developing, particularly the prefrontal cortex, which is responsible for emotional regulation and problem solving. This means they don't yet have the tools to handle frustration the way adults do. Instead, they rely on us to guide them through those big emotions. Research insight. According to the American Academy of Pediatrics, children who learn to manage frustration effectively are more likely to succeed academically, socially, and emotionally. They develop resilience, the ability to bounce back from setbacks, which is a critical skill for navigating life's challenges. In my work, I've seen how frustration can either become a stumbling block or a stepping stone, depending on how it's handled. One family I worked with had a 7-year-old, Jacob, who often tore up his homework in frustration when he couldn't get the answers right. By working with his parents to teach him calming techniques and problem-solving skills, Jacob began to approach challenges with greater confidence and less emotional outburst. Why frustration is a learning opportunity. It might sound counterintuitive, but frustration is actually a valuable teacher. When kids face challenges, they have the opportunity to develop patience, persistence, and creative thinking. However, they need guidance to turn those moments of struggle into moments of growth. Think about it this way. If a child never experiences frustration, they never learn how to overcome obstacles. But if frustration feels overwhelming or unmanageable, they might start avoiding challenges altogether. Our role as parents is to help them find that middle ground, where frustration becomes a motivator rather than a barrier. One of the most powerful things we can do when our kids are frustrated is to validate their emotions. This doesn't mean agreeing with every complaint or letting them off the hook. It means showing them that their feelings are real and understood. Imagine this. Your child is struggling to build a Lego set and throws a piece across the room in frustration. Instead of saying, "Stop being so dramatic," try saying, "I see you're really frustrated right now. It's hard when things don't go the way we want." That simple act of acknowledgement can be incredibly calming. It tells your child it's okay to feel this way, which creates a foundation for helping them move forward. Case example. I worked with a family whose 5-year-old Emma often became frustrated during art projects. When her drawings didn't turn out perfect, she'd crumple them up and storm away. By validating her feelings, "It's really frustrating when your drawing doesn't look the way you imagined, isn't it?" Her parents created a safe space for Emma to express her emotions. From there, they were able to guide her toward trying again instead of giving up. Teaching problem-solving skills. Managing frustration isn't just about calming down, it's also about figuring out what to do next. Problem-solving is a skill that kids develop over time, and moments of frustration are the perfect practice ground. Instead of jumping in to fix the problem, guide your child toward finding a solution themselves. Ask open-ended questions like, "What do you think we can do to fix this?" Or, "What's another way we could try this?" This not only helps them overcome the immediate challenge, but also builds their confidence for future situations. As parents, it's easy to feel frustrated ourselves when our kids are struggling. But how we respond in those moments can either escalate or de-escalate the situation. Kids learn by watching us. If we lose our temper when things go wrong, like yelling at a broken appliance or snapping when we're running late, they're likely to mimic that behavior. On the other hand, if we model patience and problem solving, we're teaching them a more constructive way to handle frustration. Personal example. I once worked with a mom who realized her own reactions were fueling her son's frustration. She started narrating her thought process during challenging moments, saying things like, "This isn't working the way I thought it would. Let me try a different approach." Over time, her son began to use similar language when faced with his own challenges, building a toolbox for frustration management. Every child is different, which means every child will need different tools to manage their frustration. Some kids benefit from physical outlets, like taking a deep breath or squeezing a stress ball. Others might find comfort in creative outlets, like drawing or writing. What's important is helping your child discover what works for them. Encourage them to try different strategies and talk about what feels most helpful. For Jacob, the boy who struggled with homework, we introduced a simple breathing technique called balloon breathing. When he felt frustrated, he imagined blowing up a big balloon, slowly inhaling and exhaling to fill it up. This gave him a moment to pause and reset before tackling the problem again. Let's be honest. Teaching kids to manage frustration isn't always easy. As parents, we might feel impatient, unsure, or even guilty about not being able to fix the problem immediately. But remember, it's not about eliminating frustration. It's about helping your child learn how to handle it. And that's a process that takes time, trial, and error. If you're finding it hard to stay patient, try taking a step back and reminding yourself of the bigger picture. These moments of struggle are opportunities for growth, not just for your child, but for you as a parent as well. Frustration is a natural part of life, but it doesn't have to be overwhelming. By validating your child's emotions, teaching problem-solving skills, and modeling patience, you can help them turn moments of frustration into opportunities for growth and resilience. Thank you for joining me today on the Parenting Compass. If this conversation resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share this video with other parents who might find it helpful. Together, let's empower our children to navigate life's challenges with confidence and strength. I'll see you in the next video.